Welcome to Airbnb Success. My name is Trang Nguyen, and today we go into model 6, which will be all about Airbnb business, how to manage Airbnb as a business, and how to deal with Airbnb as a business. Because at the end of the day, this is the extra income that you still have to report to the tax man. You still have to calculate how much you earn at the end of the month. And possibly, if the earning is good enough, would you be able to give up the 9 to 5 job and work on this to create an extra income for you and focus more of your time to do things that you like? And possibly create a side of Airbnb business for yourself in order to help all the hosts, all the guests, and help yourself. Let's look at in the model. So we're going to talk about tax and account, how to deal with it, what to do about it, and what kind of expense can be counted as an Airbnb expense. And then we will look into how to systemize everything, what needs to be taken into concerns when you systemize the whole business. And then we will looking into an alternative ways of doing Airbnb. Because let's face it, you can't really rely on Airbnb for everything. What if the sun just go down one day? What can you do about it? If you don't have any backup, don't have any systems, don't have any other side to rely on, okay? We were looking into an alternative ways of doing Airbnb. Because let's face it, you can't really rely on Airbnb for everything. What if the sun just go down one day? What can you do about it? If you don't have any backup, don't have any systems, don't have any other side to rely on, okay? And when you already master all of this, we can look into helping you to expand your business or adding multiple space in your place. And probably we can discuss more about the £600,000 insurance that Airbnb provide for the host, what actually including this. Not everything, you know. Okay, let's go. Now let's drill down to all the tax and accounting related to the business, right? Okay. First, before we go into this session, I would like to declare that I am not an accountant. Even though I have qualified an MBA degree as a business administration, but I am no qualified as an accountant. Okay, so you got to look for an accountant, a local accountant, to search for advice and go to them if you need to either set up your self-employed report, doing your account every year, or doing your bookkeeping paperwork, advise you on what kind of expense you got to you can use and you cannot use. But this will be just the guideline that I give it to you. Is in no case it's been used as an advice. All right. So yes, do find a good local accountant who can help you with this. You're probably gonna save a lot of accounting firm, accounting shop around your area. So start open your eye and look around, or just look in the yellow book or search online around your area. If you're unable to do that, just put a message on Facebook and ask your friend on advice for a good accountant that they can recommend to you, and you can probably use them because your friend use them. Okay, and in order to look into the tax in your area as well, in different area, especially the US, in different states, there will be different kind of tax rule and regulations. The same in most Europe countries, there will be different rule and guide and regulation, and especially the UK as well. Anything related to short-term rental regulation is still been changing at the moment because the rental market is not designed for Airbnb. even though there's a hotel rental, but it doesn't work in the rule of housing and regulations because hotel is something separate. Which Airbnb is a house rental. So the government is still working with Airbnb, or Airbnb is still working with different government at the moment to put some regulation into it. And the same, even though in the UK, different council they will have different rule as on based on this as well. Let's say, for example, in London from February this year, um, in London only, right? You are allowed to rent out your house or part of your house for short-term rental uh, for the maximum 3 months in a year. So you can go away for 3 months and renting it out or renting it out in different period of time for maximum 3 months, and that is your house when you stay. There is a different rule for long-term rental and all the different types short-term rental and buy-to-let rental things as well. So do check up on this and search for a tax advisor who are qualified in the short-term rental basics. Because the thing is, you don't want to go to the dentist if you have a headache, right? The same with the tax advisor. You don't want to go to commercial advisor for the short-term rental advice, short-term rental either. So do search out for the right one. Probably start calling up and talking to few of them, and then you eventually you will find out the right one for you. Just asking around or of the people in the housing and property circle. Okay. So you can go in your Airbnb account, go to your profile, click the account, and then click pay our references, and then you can click also into taxpayer information. Then, if you are a U.S. citizen, you can fill in the tax form like US 1099, and then Airbnb gonna help you to report yourself as Airbnb host, and then they're going to help you with providing certain paperwork for you so you can fill in every year to report the tax. And if you are non-US citizen, then I think that is also a form for you to fill on as well. So do check out the Q&A link for your local tax, etc. That I have already provided in one of the spreadsheet for all of the link related to what you need to read on further about Airbnb without you have to go to search about it. Okay. So then you got to also calculate the revenue that you receive. For your convenience, you got to be happy about this. Airbnb already done this for you, so you don't have to pick on every single guest that pay out to you and then sit down, write them down and calculate it because Airbnb already done everything for you. So in order to get this, you just go to profile, click to transaction history, and then you can click into choose the options, and then you're gonna see the whole page of which guest checked in which day and how much they paid. And if there's a guest cancel, then how much Airbnb taken and how much left for you. You also can export this spreadsheet into out to your computer, so you can send that spreadsheet to your accountant directly without having them look into your account. Okay. Right. Let's moving on to how you can manage all your expenses. For this, I highly recommend you to talk to your accountant and keep updated with the government rules. But the basic business expense and all expense that are qualify as an Airbnb expense is anything, any expense that are the cost of carrying out a cost occur for your Airbnb business, and this is usually deductible if your Airbnb is operated to make a profit. But doesn't matter, either you make a profit or make a loss, or as long as you run Airbnb as a kind of rental place to bring in income for yourself, you got to report to the taxman that you're doing that. Even though you don't make the profit, you still have to report it and doing your job. Okay. Um, those expense that can be deducted in the normal business expense. There are two types. The first one is the ordinary expense, which is all the common accepted in the industry, and the other one called necessary expense. These are helpful and appropriate for the trade or the business. For your Airbnb expense, these can be calculated and deduct for tax such as rent, mortgage, bills, gas, electricity, wireless broadband, water, advertising, cleaning, online services, any furniture that you bought particular for Airbnb purposes, or the food that you provide for your guests, and the decoration for the guest room, or even this Airbnb cost that you pay, you can also claim it. Let's say if you go on holiday and then you rent all the Airbnb space in order to rent out your Airbnb. Okay, you also claim the place that you're staying as an expense. Okay, because you have to go away in order to rent your place, so you can't actually stay at your place and rent the whole place out at the same time, right? So you can claim the trip that you travel as an expense. How cool is that? Um, Next, let's look on into Airbnb success calculator that I provide to you. This will help you with every single struggle you have. Basically, you just fill in the number, like how much you buy for your furniture, how much for you spend on the decoration, on the food, how much is your bill. Just fill in the detail, and I will work out a spreadsheet for you. Um, and then you can just send this off to your accountant, and you don't do anything else. So you can see how much profit you actually receive a month. Yeah? Because when you export the income from Airbnb, you haven't calculated any expenditure yet, and then you still need another spreadsheet to calculate how much expense to deduct out from your income. Then you can see the profit, right? No worry, just fill in my calculator spreadsheet and you will see what is the monthly money that you can put in your pocket and going out, spend it. And of course, remember to pay tax before that, yeah. Okay. Just remind again, the information contained on this training is meant only for guidance purpose and not as a professional legal or tax advice. So for your further information, I do not give you any personalized legal tax investment or any business advice in general. All right. So don't hold me onto anything. Okay. Just joking. Let's look at few expensive example in detail. Let's look into the detail of all the expenses. I will give you some example that you can understand more of how these expenses work. Yeah. First, you can calculate the food and beverages that you spend for your guests. Even a bottle of milk or some cornflakes for the guests in the morning, or the gift baskets, chocolate you provide for your guests, or some beer and wine that you store ready in your fridge for your guests. That can be deducted into an expense. All the supplies such as laptop, cell phone usage can also be counted as an expense, and then car, gas, oil, any maintenance that you spend on your place, any home bills, cleanings, and all the costs directly related to your business. Like I was saying earlier, this training is an expense for your business as well. So that is all you got to think about your tax and accounting. Let's looking into how we can actually systemize Airbnb business. The purpose of this is to rent your space while you are away and to hand off everything to someone else who can help you efficiently and properly, right? So you can focus more on do all the things that you love, you enjoy, and spend more time with your family and for yourself. You got to identify all the moving parts of the apartment. For example, how's the keys, how you're gonna hand the key for the guests, what is the parking is, and do you need to provide parking car for your guests, how you gonna handle cleaning, someone gonna handle cleaning for you, all the orientation going with it as well. First, I would recommend you to get a long-term cleaner, which means that you can trust them, you know them, they know you, and they know where things are in your place and what to do exactly. In the previous modules, we already talk about the checklist and the routine, what your cleaner need to check on in order to clean, and what is the routine your cleaner need to do or your manager need to do in order to check up everything from communicating with guests until checking them in until why they stay in and the end of their stay. Okay, so we're not gonna go into that anymore, but we haven't talked about the ultimate, the key swap, right? So that is the second thing that you got to looking at. You either can put your key under the mat, or your cleaner can have the set of key, or you can put the key, you can hide the key in the flower pot example. The better one is you can use a lockbox, and advanced for lockbox that need process to get in. Okay, so if you can't check the guest in and your cleaner just come over to clean the place, you can send a message to your guests while you're not there, because in advance, to tell them that okay, they can open a lockbox with this code, or if they look inside the flower pot, there is a key for them. But anything related to, like if you hide the key under the mat or the lockbox or the pot, anything like that, please don't do it so often. It will be only happen if the guest either check in too early and you can't really wake up for them, or you staying so far away and your cleaner can't really come into that time, or they check in very late. So that will be only few exception situation. Um, the best thing is you got to be there, your cleaner got to be there to check your guests in, or your manager got to be there to check your guests in, because you will get a better review from the guests if they have some kind of interaction with someone, rather than just like an empty house with no one and they just walk in and don't know what to expect, basically. So the communication throughout from beginning to the end is also vital as well. And in order to systemize everything, you got to looking at copy and paste systems, such as the introduction and outro message, and send a message at a specific time to your guests. You can do it yourself, or you can use a virtual assistant or a manager who manage your account to do this. So you basically compile a list of like what to tell the guests when they check in. Those that include what is the address of the place, what is the Wi-Fi, what the check-in and check-out time, where is the key that they can collect, and while they stay, you can send them a quick message like, okay, I understand that you already checked in, enjoy your stay, and if you need anything else, let me know. And then upon the checkout, you got to let them know that what is the checkout time, and make sure that they check out in certain time so your cleaner can come over if they need to leave the luggage after the checkout time and come back later to pick it up. How can you handle it? So put it down, compile the list in specific writing, So if someone now manages it for you, they understand and know exactly what they need to do. We did talk about set the check-in and check-out time, okay? So do this based on the hotel standard, which is set the check-in time at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the check-out time at 12 o'clock lunchtime. I mean, you can be a little bit flexible when needed, but the guests need to know the time in order for you to interact with them and arrange for the next guest to come in as well. Okay. Other thing to note is writing a guidebook. On Airbnb listing, you have an option of the guidebook, which is provide guests of all the attraction area around your place, anything that interested to them that they can go and enjoy. The best way get an account managers. A part of my company that I have is a chocolate rental business where I provide managing an account, do all cleaning, check-ins, and everything for the host. So you can check that out later if you are interested. Okay, and provide a foolproof house manual for your guests. I'll provide a contact in the city that can help the guests with whatever they need in the emergency case while you are away. Let's talk about the Foolproof house manual. In order to do this, you got to imagine that you are on vacation and lounging on the beach. So this vacation is even more special to you because you rented out your place back home and the Airbnb money is virtually covering all of your expenses. So not a worry in the world until blah, ring, 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 ring. Your phone starts buzzing with texts, messages, emails, and notifications from your guests asking all sorts of questions, such as what time is the check out? Where can I find good sushi in the neighborhood? And how do I defrost something in the microwave? Oh my god, that's gonna destroy your holiday totally, right? So our friend over at the Superhouse have a phenomenal cartoon illustrate this situations on the blog. It's so fun. You can check that out later. But don't let this guest question derail your relaxing vacation, okay? If you follow my guideline to write a bulletproof house manual that answers all the possible questions for your guests, then you'll be able to avoid all of this. Anything just, mess with them, please look into the house manual, look into the house manual. You can even copy and paste this sentence, all right? So let's look into how you can be redundant with the basics. Okay, I learned that you can never list the basics rule of your house enough times. And yes, I hope you already list your house rule on Airbnb in the area that provided for your guests after they book your place. Okay, but the thing is, this never hurt if you keep repeating again and again to your guests. I can't tell you how many times people have asked for the direction to my place when I have given explicit direction in the direction section of the listings. I even had pictures of the diagram of Google Maps on my photo listings of how to walk from the station to my place and which road to take from different kind of airport to my place, right? People still asking me over and over again. Anyway, no problem. Because people just don't always take the time to read things as that they should. So I will include the direction in my house manual along with things like the check-in time, the check-out time, etc. So these should all be things that the guests receive in the booking confirmation email from Airbnb. But you can trust that they actually read it, okay? Because if you actually send them a house manual with, let's say, 10, 20 pages, who gonna sit there to read it? People gonna just be excited that they book your place and gonna go to enjoy of their holiday until the day that they arrive and stuck in problem and they start calling you. Um, but if you have all of that, you can always refer your guests back to the manual where you will provide them, so you don't have to be on the phone and reply to every single question that they ask. The second one is create a verbal walkthrough of your place. Um, you better master of the memorization to create something called memory place. Okay, the idea is simple. In order to remember the complex sequence of anything, you should anchor each item to a location of your room in your house or another space you know intimately well. Now, when you think of this place, you should also make the connection to the item you were trying to remember. And for your purpose, just picture someone entering your place for the first time and think of all the all the possibly questions they could have, from pulling into the driveway to operating the dryer in the basement, um, how to turn on the coffee machine. So try your best to anticipate any issue your guests may have as they walk through your place. Remember to cover emergencies procedure as well. We all hope that there's never any emergency when renting our place. But in reality, there's always an exception. Anything is possible. So guests like having the peace of mind that they've been taken care of if something unforeseen happens. And of course, it's up to you to decide what qualifies as an actual emergency. And you should always write a few sentences about where the fire extinguisher are located, just in case they needed it. And Airbnb announced a regulation to get all the homes in the US up and running with free smoke detector and CO2 monitor and safety cars. So these safety cars in particular will come in handy when writing your house manual. So, but if you're not in the US, you can also get this for your place cheaply. Okay, so be sure to leave the guest with all possible names and phone number that could assist in an emergency. And while it may seem like you actually being responsible, if your mobile number is the one point of contact for everything, and you wouldn't be much help if you on the other side of the world and the place is on fire, right? So as serious as this matter, I like to keep the tongue tied when talking about the emergency situation, because no one wants to dampen their vacation without thoughts of doom and gloom, right? And as long as all the information is there, feel free to throw in a joke or two which tie into nicely into your guest guideline. You can also use your real voice in the manual, and you can make joke as well. Yes, I mean make a real joke in your house manual, okay? In fact, I actually encouraging it. Okay, let the guests know what kind of person you are in the term you use in your manual. Um, so don't be all black and white or corporate tie or just bullet and point. Because the manual may be the only contact they have with you. And if you are traveling or not staying in the place during their stay, no one wants to drift through endless um, drive and just trying to find the phone number for your next door neighbor to help let them in. But make sure you keep the information organized in a concise paragraph or bullet point. But it should still sound like it came from you rather than a robot. Yeah. People start Airbnb listing in order to get that unique human touch that they may not get at a hotel. So your house manual shouldn't sound like the text post on the back of the hotel door, okay? You can also add links to your um, house manual. I like to create my one as a PDF document right? The beauty here is that you can include relevant links to things like your favorite restaurants or the illustration of which button to press on the washing machine. I wouldn't go too heavy on links because not all guests will be looking at digital version though, but many of them will have it pulled up on their phone or tablet and link as another level of depth to make them easy to understand as well. Okay, and things like colorful hyperlinks, even to a funny YouTube video or non-sentimental information, is how to break up the monotone of the text and add more personality in your guide. Okay. And after you've done all of that, remember to print multiple copies. Um, as I suggested, some guests might refer to always have paper printout of your house manual. So while many aspects of Airbnb are digital people, your hard paper copy are never a bad idea because when you have everything squared away in the digital version, I suggest printing at least 3 copies on paper. With multiple copies, you can leave them around in different parts of your house for guests to um, check whenever they need. This also has to cover if the international guests come to town without a mobile phone service or order instant when a digital PDF won't work at all. And another bonus is that the guests might add handwriting note and markup to the paper version. That will come in handy for your next guest. Okay. Um, and the last thing to remember is no detail is too small. It's been never a bad idea to read over your house manual multiple times. Please, please do pass it on to a friend or who know your apartment and could add anything you may have missed. Creating a guide to a place you live in every day is one of the most difficult things to do. So most of the things in your space become a second nature to you, right? But maybe they aren't that intuitive to the average guest. Remember that you can never have too much information in a house manual. Although I would say that sometimes it could end up being more difficult to read, and you might want to create a table of content or clear split things up into the attractive part. And while a lot of the work here can be covered in one solid afternoon or writing and brainstorming, the house manual should be a living document that evolves over time. And the goal is to invest the time upfront so that you have less work to do when actual guests arrive. So after you prepare all of that for your guests, the next thing to do in a business is how to market your listings. How are you promoting it? I mean, of course, Airbnb do a good job themselves to help you on that, but you can also do your own part as well. You can promote it in many different ways. For the guests to make a booking, they must be able to find your listings, right? That's a pretty basic understanding, okay? But the key to manage your listings in order to accessible to all the guests is by pumping it up in search ranking. And Airbnb automatically include all the relevant listings in its search result. But precisely where you should up amidst the mix of available apartments is the key factor for your success. And there's another way to promote your listing as well, which we will explore in this section. Okay, so just like any other search engines, Airbnb actually employs a search algorithm to determine the ranking of its listings. And one of your biggest challenges during your Airbnb career is to get your listing to the first page of the search result for your neighborhood or city. And showing up on the first page of the search result will contribute greatly to maximize the number of inquiries and bookings for your listing. Okay, so let's look at the search ranking factor. Nobody knows precisely how Airbnb calculates the ranking of the search result, but Airbnb has, however, disclosed a list of data points that they consider um, Okay, and this is on their site where they provide you a basic paragraph of how the search ranking is complex process and that take um, into account many factors. So in code, let me read it out for you. Um, that how I've been rewriting it. Okay, because we take so many factors into account, comparing listings based on just a few characteristics doesn't tell the whole story. We are constantly working on improving search to better mass gauge and host, so the factor we use and how we use them can change over time. Still, there an underlying principle that guides your approach to search. We want to reward hosts that deliver a great experience to guests. This means that a host you have control over many of the factors we explained. The way you list your space and look after your guests can have an impact on where you appear in search compared to other listings, but guest preferences always play an important role in how listings are displayed in search results. So you shouldn't expect your listing to appear the same way in search for every guest on Airbnb. Encoded. Okay, it just doesn't really mean anything, right? It means that they actually taken into account every single little things, such as how your booking appear to the guests, um, what is the price you determine, what the quality and quantity of your rating and review, what is your photo and how does it look, all the trust and verification on your site, how much response do you provide, what is the response rate and response time in your site, in your listings, and how often you update your calendar, and what acceptance rate, cancellation rate, the instant book, what is your neighborhood are in, and all the social connections relating to it. Yeah, every little things that you participate in using your Airbnb, that they all been taken into the part of your search ranking on Airbnb. Okay, yeah. So that's pretty much it, which means that there is lots of work you have to um, cover in order to be a top of search on the search ranking apart from become a superhost. Okay. I mean, after reviewing the Airbnb website and reading the number of Airbnb related publications, I also rely on my extensive experience and have extracted the two factors that affect placement in the search ranking, and I've split them into two parts. One is verified factors, another one is inferior factors. Okay, let's look on this in detail. Verified factor. So, how your booking appeal to your guests? Does it determine your search ranking? Okay. Airbnb tend to favor high quality and accurate listings. And if there is a tendency for the potential guests to view and book your listing, your search ranking will benefit. So in order to optimize your search results, Airbnb recommend that you make the title and description attractive and informative and explain what makes your space unique. I mean, if it's not a boat, if it's not a tree house, if it's not a tent, it's just a block of building of a two-bed flat, then you're gonna have to make it stand out. Okay. You should strive to make your price competitive with comparable listing in your area as well. Because the logic behind this is that the more competitive price you list, the more likely guests will be to book your home. And this translates to a greater revenue for your Airbnb. Okay. And the better your offer rating, the better your listing position is. So yes, it's pretty straightforward basically. But with respect to the quality of the written review, they are actually qualified. I'm not sure precisely how, but Airbnb has reported that they developed a mechanism by which to qualify the written text. That is very complicated to me, to be honest. um, I suggest you to aim to get as much positive feedback as possible in the rating and the written reviews. That's the only way to go. Okay, so for your photo, they should be high quality and accurately reflect your space. You should make sure to include at least one photo of each room that is accessible to your guests. And in order to ace these categories, I recommend making sure Airbnb free professional photography service. Yeah, if you are not a photographer yourself or have a photographer in hand, okay. Right, for all the trust and verification on your site, Airbnb actually offers several ways for a member to add the level of trust and verification here. For example, connect your Airbnb account to few social media platform and verifying your ID and telephone number. So make sure to utilize all of these available options because they actually benefit for your ranking as well. The responsiveness also a fact, and this have two factors. First one is response rate and second one is response time. So both are displayed in your listings. If you look in your, if you go into your dashboard and look into the about a house, then you will see the response time and response rate. And we have discussed in a previous model that your response rate should have to be 100% and the response time should be within an hour. Okay. So responding quickly to your inquiry and booking queries isn't only important for the search result, but it's a key piece of basic customer service. And moreover, a potential customer is more likely to make an inquiry when your listing demonstrates that you are highly responsive. And many potential guests are looking to make plans in the near future, so if they believe they will have to wait a few days or so to hear from you, you know what? They may just decide to go for someone else and forget you altogether. Okay. Um, you also got to update your calendar daily to improve user experience, and it makes sense that Airbnb take this into account. So make sure you check your calendar every day, fiddling around with it. Twice a day is minimum. Okay. So visit your calendar page is sufficient to Airbnb mark it as an update. If you do it twice a day, every day, a week, you look into your calendar like 14 times. Think about it, how much time you actually spend on Facebook. You could spend that time on building up your ranking by fiddling around with your calendar and the price. Okay, of how much time you actually spend on shopping or talking to your friend or just sit around drinking a bottle of beer. Those actually the benefits time that you can make the good money in the long run. And what about it? You still can do it on your phone and drinking the beer. Anyway, let's moving on to the acceptance rates. Pre-approving and accepting a booking request can actually improve your search ranking. So Airbnb actually look at your overall acceptance rate of booking as a factor. And if you need to reject an application, it's best to officially decline the reservation. This will have a reduced effect on your search ranking versus simply sending a message and not responding at all. All right. And Airbnb has made it clear that the cancellation of the reservation is a major false pass. So for the guests, having a reservation cancelled is a very, very, very negative experience. And that action will subject your listing to drop significantly in the ranking. I was on the way to become a superhost one month, and then four things happened. I all the verified factor, including cancellations. So Airbnb has made it clear that the cancellation of reservation is a major fox pass for guests, and having a reservation cancelled is a very, very, very negative experience for the guests. Okay, so if that action taken into place, your listing will drop in the ranking significantly. I remember there's one time because of some business and personal reasons, I had to cancel 5 guests, and I was on the way to become a super host. And from then on until now, I couldn't work my way up yet, but never mind. I still have lots of booking, lots of guests giving me good reviews. Not as much as I expected, but you know, if you are stuck, you are ahead of the game already because you have no deterioration like me. Okay. Airbnb haven't dropped your trunking yet and it's still fresh. For the instant book features, it enables the guest to make a spontaneous booking and it negates the need for a host approval. So Airbnb has stated that turning your instant book may help you in the search because the guest won't have to wait for a response or worry about getting rejected by you. The neighborhood also play an important part in the search ranking as well. So when the guests search for an accommodation by the city, all right, um, without specifying a neighborhood themselves, Airbnb will always favor a certain central and popular area. So you're lucky if you're in the central place, and if your neighborhood is a favorite of Airbnb algorithm, you will get the benefit of a search bump up to the top. Okay. If a guest has friends in common with a host, Airbnb will be more likely to show the connected host and the guest. That's more, yeah, and the guest in particular. So, in order to benefit from social connection, be sure to connect your Airbnb account to your Facebook account. There's other interior factors such as the number of bookings, um, the guest wish list, and the friend recommendation on your site. So, just like a greater number of rating and review, they will bump up your rank or overall booking should spike your position as well. So if these bookings are accompanied by solid reviews, then all the better. By getting the number up alone, this will keep you regardless. Okay. And when looking for a perfect place to stay, your guests can add a listing to their wish list. So the number of times your stay has been added to a wish list display on your listing below the blue booking button. And although you can't really directly influence this metric, I recommend asking your previous guests to add your space to their wish list. That is a trick for me. Okay. Even if you haven't booked a single guest, your friend can set up an Airbnb account and then write your recommendation for your place. Okay, so these recommendations will help boost your search ranking and will also make your listing appear more attractive to your potential guests as well. So thanks me and go ahead and do it. You can promote your listing outside of Airbnb as well. Also, you can't. Alright, so if you are just starting out, I highly recommend running an advertising campaign outside of Airbnb to boost the views. And I suggest using all the social media tools such as Facebook, Twitter, personal email to your contact, a sidebar on your personal website or blog, or a Woodward AdWords. I mean, this will cost you a little bit, but in the end, it will pay off for all the bookings and make every effort to push the boat on this front. But recognize that all of these methods are merely means to increase your ranking within Airbnb. And at the end of the day, the organic Airbnb ranking are the key to create your list and your castle and your home. All right. Okay. These are all the alternatives for Airbnb and such. Let's talk about it. Because you can't really rely on your Airbnb for your bread and meal. Okay. if something goes wrong with Airbnb one day, at least you have few other options to work around with. So the first one you can look at is VRBO. This is the vacation rental by owner, and it's as before it was free, but I think now you have to pay before you can put your listing. So it's work a little bit different from Airbnb. I mean, any other sites they will be different from each other. Otherwise, it's a copy page of Airbnbs. So they're going to be different. And these VRBO it tend to be more popular with group and family, so they actually make the money from you paying to promote your listings, and but in the opposite, Airbnb show you the best property, not the one who spent more to promote. And there's a different range of price. You got to pay upfront in order for your listings to be promoted, either on the top, in the average, or on the bottom. Okay, they book without charging the money from the guests. That's another thing different from Airbnb as well. And there will be no guarantee that the guests will come to your place, I tell you. So you have to show the guest the apartment first, and after that the guests decide if they want to book it or not. So more stress for yourself, hey? Even though the guests might be less forgiving in the review because they don't really know the house sometimes. This is an alternative, but doesn't mean that it's good. I mean, Airbnb the most popular place for booking anyway, and most of the hosts just use Airbnb alone. They're enough to making the money. But if you actually looking to fill up your place within the next 3 months, the next 5 months, then do use this alternative for yourself. Okay, or you can just test it out and see how it's going, and maybe some of them will work for you as well as Airbnb. Okay, another one we can look at is Roomorama. This one doesn't look professional, the site itself, but most of the listing will also be on your Airbnb anyway. And it's a little bit more risky when you spend more time for less booking, right? And they don't offer any insurance, unfortunately. Airbnb cover you £600,000 insurance if anything happened related to the stay. So shout out to a guest. This will offer a price and host can choose him. These are the house pay like, basically. This alternate to page, you can look at them after you putting up your listing on Airbnb, systemize them and optimize them. Then you can easily transfer them to other pages when needed, such as like description, photo, house rule, or you can transfer over. Okay, but figure out your best system first. And yes, at the moment we will focus in Airbnb. So that's likely chance to turn out to be the best one. But please do not discard the other one and check them out, okay? Although Airbnb is the most popular, other place can make you money as well. And for the fact is, most of all the hosts who use a VRBO or Roomorama as an alternative because they want to maximize their bookings. And if you would like to do that as well, then please go ahead and check them out. Because most booking will fill the whole month or 2 months. And if you can fill 3 months, 5 months in advance, you know what, you're in a support position. But on the other hand, your price might be too low. So do consider all the factors when setting your price and let the guests book up all your space. So when we looking at the expanding of the business after all of the tax accountings and setting the systemize the business. Now you can comfortably making money on Airbnb nicely without spend much effort. You can start looking into expanding Airbnb as a business for yourself, or just start making a bit more money. I would suggest you to talking to your family members who have spare space in their house, or friends who have spare space in your house. These will be tend to be the people who travel quite often, either once a month, 1 week a month, or more often as a couple of times a year. And you know what? What the point of leaving your space empty if you can, you know, making money out of it and making sure to your family and your friend that you will take care of the place, and also cleaning the place, making the place tidy and nicely and updated it, keep it up to date maintenance. Anything happen, anything lost, is you always have the Airbnb insurance, second the thousand per insurance to claim anyway. So this is a big insurance for you already there in case of any worries. Okay. Um, Another way to do to expand your business also is provide different Airbnb service to the host community. So if you actually have a good cleaner who do it for yourself, why not provide them more jobs? You know, so you can start offer the service to other hosts and using your cleaner to do the job for you, but you're gonna be the first contact and the first manager. You can become a manager for all the hosts, or you can provide a service such as making a small gift package, or making a small package of shampoo, soaps, body lotion, body wash, and provide and supply it to other hosts in your area. There will be a lot of thing to do if you would like to make the Airbnb become another business on the side for you. Okay. On top of that, you can also look into adding the multiple space in your Airbnb listings. This multiple space is of course within the same place that you are living. So I'm actually talking about if you actually have 2 bedrooms flat and you normally just rent out the other room for your guests. So why not, if you actually go to holiday, when you can rent the whole place out, so you actually have 2 listings. One listing for the room only while you are there, and other listings is the whole flat when you are away. So this gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of making an extra income on Airbnb. And you can also have different price for different space as well. So you have let's say £50 per night for the other single room, and then £100, £120 a night for the whole flat. Even just 3 to 5 days to rent out the whole flat, that can be a different, make significant difference for your money, right? But if you do that, remember to look out for double booking. You don't want this to happen because you have got to cancel guests if that's the case. Or alternatively, you can book another place around for your guests, but then you're gonna face a chance of low review. Okay, so do keep an eye out for it. You don't want it to happen to you. Okay, what is the business without the insurance, right? So let's looking at the Airbnb £600,000 insurance. The Airbnb host guarantee. They actually provide you up to $1 million in damage and losses. So the policy is actually backed by Lloyd's of London. This is a good news for everyone because it's not backed by American, but backed by Lloyd's of London, which is Bank of Scotland, under the Bank of Scotland umbrella, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, these are the items that actually be covered in this insurance. The first one is the more normal wear and tears. Second is the cash and securities in your place, and any collectibles items, any rare and artwork items, any jewelries, any pets. Let's say if you have a chihuahua and it wasn't there anymore after the guests leave, then yes, of course, you got something to explain about, and Airbnb got to pay for the cost of your chihuahua. Um, all the personal liability will include this as well, but do you got to provide them a proper proof. Let's say if your rare artwork picture is not there anymore, you got to have pictures taken before and after the guest leave, right? You can check out more information about this on the Airbnb host guarantee Q&A page. Yeah, I will list all the pages in a spreadsheet so you can see them later, and you can check out if you have any particular question that Airbnb has already answered and explained on their site, so you can go directly to the right page. Okay, but all in all, if you already done your listing and start to um, book your place in full, then congratulations, your wife. Your aim is to make the first money for the first week. And if you have a GDAS, it's just the case of working your way until you actually be freed of all the responsibility and all the work and become your own boss and focus on do more of the things you love. Okay. So in that, I'm gonna stop here and we're gonna go to the next module. In module 7, I will show you about tip and tricks or the extra that you got to pay attention to in order to making more money and make the place work for you.